Hi viewers, we're back with another episode of Breakfree SA, the podcast where we talk about the business world, promoting business, lifestyle, motivate and inspire. But today we have a wonderful guest here, Gregory Davids, who's an upcoming author, poet, writer, and he's just going to share his journey with us. So Gregory, tell the viewers who you are.
My name is Gregory Davids. I love to write. I'm married. We have 4 kids together, and I just have a wonderful life with my wife and my kids. But I aspire to become a successful author.
Okay. So before we get right into it, we just want to know, like, where did you go to school? Where did you grow up? How was your school journey?
My school journey started in Atlantis and it ended in Atlantis. I was a very average student, not really aiming for high marks because, that was not where my heart was ever. Probably when I was 17 years old, I started aspiring to become an author because right through my schooling career, I was always commended by my storytelling abilities. You know, when you write English, your composition, Afrikaans, the stories that I tell, the teachers always used to love to read my stories, and that's when my journey started. When I was 17, I decided I'm gonna do this.
To pursue it.
Yeah.
But when you came to matric, did you have a chance to study, or did you go right into the working environment?
I had to go right into the working environment because we didn't have much. As my mother, as a single parent, raised us, and at the time she still worked in factory, and then I did not have any other choice but to join the workforce. I couldn't sit around and tell my mother that I wanted to pursue this because I didn't know how long it was gonna take me to get to that level. I had to go and I had to man up. I had to be the adult and go into the workforce.
Hi viewers, we just want to let you know to please do not forget to please like and subscribe and press that button, man. And do not forget one more thing, get back to the video. If you can have a story, I don't know how many did you start off with the factories or?
Yes, I started off in factory worker. I'm still a factory worker. I am a qualified printer at trade. But like I said, I had a chance to study through the company, and that's where my printing started.
Okay, but if you can tell us any story that you can go back with, like what was your worst day at work?
Like I said, I always want to be an author. So when you're in work and your focus is not on your work and rather on your dream, then I would say choose any day, because your focus is not there. You need to do your best at work, and sometimes you do, but sometimes you lose focus,
Yes.
because it's not your passion. So I would say any day. You can choose any day over the years, and that particular day will be my worst day.
Okay, but if you look into work in the work environment, is there any best lesson you could say that you learned through the years?
Yes, discipline. When you work in a team, you're part of a team. Nobody wants to be the weakest link, right? And as a team, we motivate each other. At work, you need to shift your focus on your work, because that's what you need to do, because at the end of the day you get paid to do a certain job. And as a team, you need to be disciplined, because we look after each other, we look after each other's jobs, and we inspire each other to not make as many mistakes. So the lesson that I take out of working in a factory is discipline. Discipline in a team, and discipline when I'm by myself. Because honestly, a person without discipline, it doesn't matter what dream he has, he's bound to fail.
Yeah. We're gonna get into. You said by 17 you wanted to start like doing author and starting writing books, but what was actually the break-free moment where you actually decide, no, I need to do this?
June of 2010, I was unemployed. At the time, we had 3 children, and when you're unemployed, no money comes in. There's no money. There's no food. My children were at school, and I was wondering what were they going to eat as soon as they get home, because I need to provide, and I'm not providing. I'm sitting forward. My head is sagged almost to the floor. I'm sulking. My hair is in my head. My fingers are through my hair, and I'm depressed. And then my wonderful wife, my beautiful wife, came in. She saw me sulking, and she asked me the simplest question: why are you stressing? And she said, everything will turn out right. When somebody says something to you with that conviction, it's like a rock being lifted off your chest and off your shoulders. And not shortly after that, I decided that I was going to pursue writing. I needed to get a job, but I knew that I could do both, work and write.
Okay. When you started off, what was the names of the? I see you have 2 books here. The 2 books, as you guys can see on the 2 books that you written so far. But how did you come up with the names?
These 2 books had 2 different names. I think Brass Knuckles was Fork in the Road, and it was a male. But then I restructured my thinking, and I thought to myself, this could be a female hero, and she was supposed to be physically strong. And what makes you strong? What weapon that you have makes you strong? And then I came up with the name Brass Knuckles. And in the book, her nickname is Brass Knuckles because she is physically strong.
Okay.
Heir to the Throne was like father, like son, or evil father, evil son. I'm not sure. I can't remember. And then as I wrote the book, as I adjusted the book and added more, I thought to myself that he is his father's heir. And then I opted with the name Heir to the Throne.
Okay. Can you take us back? How did you feel when you completed your first chapter of your first book?
My first chapter was a milestone. It was a stepping stone, because I thought to myself, if I could finish one chapter, and then I could finish an entire book, and that's how I motivated myself. It was a stepping stone. It was a step in the right direction. That's what I said to myself, and it felt good.
How did you feel when you completed your first book?
When I finished my first book, it was a process, because I had to reread to get all the flaws out. And I'm not just talking about spelling errors, I'm talking about the storyline. Get it right, get it perfect to the way that I wanted it. And when that was done, it felt marvelous. It felt like I created a world within this world.
You're allowed to read us just a little bit so that the viewers can see more to the inside of the book.
This is the first chapter of Heir to the Throne. Mary Prince looks at the all too familiar sight in her room. A chair that is thrown over, blankets of an earlier made bed pulled to the one side of the bed, and whatever belongs on the dressing table scattered all over the floor. The regular war zone. She forces her tired and battered body up one more time as she tries to forget the pain, and in an attempt to get to a scared little boy who is crouching in the corner. 6-year-old Golden Prince Jr. gives a silent cry. The last time he cried out loud, his father and newly appointed police captain punished him harder. "You're a man, suck it up," were the merciless words of Yolan Sr. Yolan Sr. approaches Junior with a belt in his hand, but Mary harpoons herself between her and her son and her husband and throws her body over her son like a protective cloak. "Don't you dare touch my son," she screams with a scared yet braved up voice. Prince Senior smiles broadly. Her poor attempt at being defensive over her son amuses him, but he admires her bravado act. There could only be one remedy for her senseless revolt. He grabs a handful of her hair and starts to pull. When she doesn't move, he pulls even harder, then with both hands until he is convinced that the maternal defense is steadfast. Then he lets go. He waits for her to look up before he wipes his hands against each other to get the hair that he pulled out of her skull to fall to the floor. Then he gives her a cynical look before he says, "You should be happy that I'm in a good mood." The frustration of defeat brews inside of him, but his face doesn't show it. That would give her a false sense of satisfaction, and he refuses to look the defeated part. He continues, "You're obsessed with that kid." His empty words stay into her soul. He is bound to cost you your life. He turns to leave the room. When she looks up to respond to his threat, before she could say anything, Yolan Jr. wakes up from his recurring dream. As he lies staring at the ceiling, he feels thankful for the few glimpses of memory that he still has of his mother, one in which she shows a willingness to die for her son. That is basically the
intro.
The intro.
You can see this lot of background, a lot of. You can feel like I felt a little bit of hatred that's going on, but it sounds very good. But when you get creative, right? So most people say there is creative block. What do you do in that particular time? Did you experience it when you write a novel?
That's tough. That is the worst hell that any writer can go through. When I get the writer's block, I leave everything as is. I save everything on the computer, put the computer entirely off. And then there's one thing that I love, is long walks. I love to walk, or if I'm not in the mood to walk, I do something entirely different other than writing. And hopefully in the same day, the words will come to me, maybe the next day, maybe the next week. But whenever I'm ready, I will start to write again. I will completely forget whatever I wrote. And then when I start again, I recapture, and then I see how to remedy what the writer's block stopped me from writing.
So, how long did it take you to write your first novel?
Like I said, I needed to get it perfect, and from the start to the publishing, it was about 2.5 years.
Oh, that's long.
That is long, but it was worth it.
Between the first and the second book, right? Was in the time span how long it was? Was it different? Was it a bit shorter? Was it a bit easier?
It was a bit easier because I knew of new developments in publishing, so I could pursue whatever platforms they were, and then I could the time lapses between chapters, I could shorten it.
Okay. Because we know AI is now up and about, did you ever use AI to, like, artificial intelligence to help you?
I do not understand how AI works, but it gives me the impression that it's kind of robotic, and I need my characters to be flawed. They have to be human. They have to have problems. They have to have they have to be able to make mistakes.
Okay.
And I don't think AI will give me that. I want it to come naturally. I want the characters to tell me how to write their story. And I don't think with AI that could happen.
It's an interesting side. If one day people come to you and they say, right, we want to make this book, we're gonna make it into a movie, right? What actors do you think you want to play what role?
I actually saw Tom Cruise's daughter on a magazine cover, and when I saw her, I thought to myself, this is the exact image I had when I wrote Brass Knuckles. So probably Suri Cruise, and then with her Matthew McConaughey as the bad guy, and Dustin Hoffman as the guy who guides her through life.
And with the other one,
The other one, ironically, the other one I went Mzansi, like they say, South African. With the other one, I saw my son in the leading role. And then Quinn Brink, I don't know if you know who he is, Quinn Brink as his father.
Okay. What actually motivates you?
Family life, my religion, my belief in God. Actually, that was first and foremost, my belief in God. People like you, who created a podcast out of nothing. It shows me and it tells me a story that anything is possible. You just need to firstly believe and secondly persevere to catch your dream.
Oh, thank you for that. That's quite good for us. The other question is, how do you deal with work-life balance?
There is 24 hours in a day. I need my sleep, I need my rest. I know that. And I'm quite a busy person. So I need to get everything in that 24 hours. If I can only write a few words in a day, that should be enough. That is a step closer to the end of my book. I cannot say that I feel I'm sulking or anything for just writing a few words, because if that few words come to me, then that's all that comes to me. Tomorrow may be a different case. Tomorrow I might finish 2 or 3 chapters the way I'm inspired. So I need to balance my mind first. Family life, church life, work life, and the book. I need to balance my mind first, to get everything cranked up into my mind before I balance everything and I give everything its time limit. I'm going to do that at that time. I'm going to do that at that time. And fortunately for me, my family understands that when I'm busy with something, they have patience. They do have patience. They show me that they've got the patience to wait their turn. So yeah, that's how I balance my life.
You did publish both books, right?
Yes.
Can you take us through how was the publishing process?
Well, when it comes to computers and systems and internet, I am, shall I say, idiotic. So my daughter did everything for me. Brass Knuckles, well, somebody else published Brass Knuckles on Amazon, KDP. Okay. But my daughter published Heir to the Throne on Kobo Plus. So it was a bit difficult, it was a bit challenging. But she got around to doing it, and she did that for me. The promoting, of course, you have to go to whatever platform there is to promote your book.
Yeah, so I have a question. So obviously you've been writing 2 novels. about two different stories. So I've got one. The first question would be, if you could, would you do ghost writing or biographies for say famous people, politicians, or somebody you admire?
Biographies would be a bit of a challenge, but I would love. There is a band that I've always had in my mind. It's called The Real Milli Vanilli, and I would love to write his story. There is something that I did not say about the second book. Heir to the Throne is actually the first part of a 3-part series.
Okay.
And I'm actually busy with part 2 called The Unthroning. And then of course the last part, which I will the name I will say whenever I'm ready. But yes, I would love to do their biography, because they were conduct of their genius. And the book, the name of the book will probably be All or Nothing. That was the name of the album, All or Nothing, and it says a lot. It says that they put in everything and they lost everything, but they got everything back again.
Okay, and then the last question, as you've now written obviously two books, obviously there's still more to come, would you say that you would also maybe write a character similar to yourself in one of your future books? Do you think that might happen? Would you think you would write yourself into the story, or maybe a character that has some of your characteristics?
I am a crime writer. These are all crime books, and I do not see. I'm a very casual person. I love to make jokes, but one thing I cannot do is write comedy. Not even with a gun pointed at my head. So I cannot see myself in a book or my characteristics in a character of my book. It will defeat the purpose of writing crime.
That's for me. Thank you.
But like I said, we're coming to the end of the show, and we normally end up with the positive. So we just want to know about you. What motivational words can you say to young people?
So many times we feel broken, we feel depressed, and that there's that sense of brokenness in you. My motivation to young people is, or to any person, is God has never made a person who breaks easily. So if you feel broken, you're not really feeling broken, you just need to step back. Let the evil in your life pass. Step back into your place and embrace God. Embrace that you are strong. Because at the end of the day, when you feel broken, you probably feel tired and you need some rest. Get the rest that you need, and as soon as you're well rested, you continue with your dream. You continue fighting for your place in this world, because this world is cruel, but you are strong. You are too strong to be submitted, to subdued to this evil in this world.
No, it's very powerful. Gregory, thank you for being on the podcast. And yeah, guys, please like and subscribe. Do not forget. And yeah, we'll see you in the next episode.